After a year and a half of sticking it out in this marina, it's been frustrating to say the least. We are finally about to complete our last job.
That's just wild.
Yes, our rebuilt engine that has been keeping us in the marina is finally finished. And this week, we're gonna start her up. Happy days. Good morning, good morning. The last thing you would have seen is me aligning the engine up with the C drive. Unfortunately, I still had the engine actually physically on the block and chain and hoist, and it was still hoisted. So that alignment was incorrect. Since then, I have aligned it. I've played with it all of yesterday and I got it sorted. I then removed the aligning coupling and I have replaced it with the actual flexible coupling, which is going to be there while the engine runs. And so to get that flexible coupling on, I actually had to go heat it up on the stove. I didn't film it, and basically expand the steel so it would fit over. And then as the steel cooled down, it's cooled down and it's clamped down on the actual shaft of the C drive. So here is the C drive. In here is the shaft, and this thing here is the flexible coupling. These rubber nuts I just put on yesterday, and they're brand new. So this wheel will be on the transmission here. It's kind of like a wheel and a spacer, and then this will be on the wheel like that, and then this will connect into the flexible coupling.
I've been away for a while. No one can change time.
Quick update, I have actually got the engine in, the engine bolts are in, tightened them down, and I've actually got the flexible coupling attached onto the transmission. Everything's tight, it looks really good. There's one small issue which I'm a little bit afraid about. There is a small leak coming from my C drive. So I'm just going to have to keep an eye on that as we start up and as we start rotating things, so the leak doesn't get any worse. But yeah, overall, very happy with how things are going. This part is all the flexible coupling. This is like an old wheel to power some other thing which used to be in the boat, which doesn't exist anymore. And here we have 1 nut, 2 nut, 3 nut, 4. These nuts attach onto these bolts and they basically clamp everything nice and tight.
Oh. Good morning, everyone! We just woke up, all 3 of us. I had a pretty bad night, so I had to sleep with my babies. And we just woke up and we're feeling fresh, aren't we? Well, 2 out of 3 anyway. Something very exciting is happening today. I am going to give the word to my captain very shortly. The 2 workers are here and picking up the engine.
So this morning the guys have been in. They've been working down here already. I'm also kind of jumping in with them, just figuring everything out. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, to have a running engine today. I need to get some gearbox fluid to get the gearbox full of oil. So after the gearbox is full of oil and the engine's running, we can start pumping it in forwards and seeing if we can go somewhere. It's going to be exciting.
Happy days.
Happy days. So what the boys have been doing this morning is we've hooked up our starter motor over this side. That's just there. We have a few excess cables here. One of the alternators which was connected onto the engine was old and ruined, so we got rid of it. So there's going to be a few excess cables. They will have to put on these earths. They've put on this fuel control cable, and they've got to connect this cable to the gearbox just here, which will allow us to go forward and backwards. And this is our water in pipe. So the water will first come through this gearbox cooler box and then come through here, through this pipe and into the engine here, which will cool everything. This morning I've reinstalled this little step so it's easier to get in and out of the engine room, which is a big relief. And things are really looking up, so fingers crossed we start soon. I don't know if I've said that already today. You're probably going to hear me say it a lot, but I really want this engine to start. Seawater in is there. Oh, this. Oh, fair good morning to everybody out there. The babies kept us up. Well, the babies kept Isabel up last night. I slept pretty well. This morning, we are hopefully going to have the mechanics arrive at some point. We should, fingers crossed, be starting up our engine today. I ran through with them yesterday on everything that was stopping us from starting up the engine, and they gave me a list of things to buy, and I bought every single one of them. I just really want to see it working. I just really want to see it spinning, and that'll just make my day, because we've been waiting for this thing for, I mean, we had the mast up probably 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. So we've been waiting for this last job to be complete for about 2 or 3 months, and it's been frustrating to say the least. But we're getting there. So here we have our exhaust hose. So this will connect up the engine with this exhaust pipe. So it'll spit all the water in there, and then the water will come up that hose and out of the boat. We've got our coolant. Shell, if you'd like to sponsor us, get in contact. We've got our gearbox oil. This oil is going to go into this gearbox. I might do that now. What else have we got? So this is our old siphon device. It's a Vetus brand, but it's broken. So I bought this one from the marine shop. It's looking good, brand new. Mechanic said happy days. From what I understand, it's going to sit up here, and water's going to run from the engine up to it and then back down. Why you need a siphon thing, I've got no idea, but that's what the mechanics want. Just hoping for a very smooth, very no problem day, and that we get this engine working and everything's going to be hopefully amazing by the end of the day. It's weird, you know, it's like we've had this feeling of like we're just about ready to go. We're just about ready to go. We've had this feeling for months, and it's just like I don't get my hopes up anymore. Just assume it's not going to work out. We got a working engine, we got a working engine, we got a work... Yeah, kiddies! No more marina! Really, really.
Oh, sorry, darling. So tell me.
I think you might have heard he was trying to start for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it wasn't starting at the start.
Yeah.
But he took a break and then tried again, took a break and then tried again, and it kicked in. I think that's normal for an engine that's hasn't had any fuel in it for a while, so
okay.
Very exciting.
And I heard you went forward and then reverse?
Yeah, my main concern, I wasn't concerned with so much the engine, because I knew the boys had done a good job and they already had started it in the workshop, so I knew it was working. My main concern was the engine and gearbox alignment, and I wanted to be 100% sure that that was good. So we started it and we put it in the forward gear. I watched it rotate and we gave it some revs and it picked up speed. And there's no vibration in the C drive, which is really good. That was my main concern, that I hadn't aligned it properly. So the fact that I can see zero vibration makes me really happy.
They're also very excited, that's why they're making all the noise.
Yes, that's why they're excited.
They just woke up by the sound of the engine. I think that's a good wake up.
How long did they get? Half hour?
Yeah, I reckon she got like 40. So.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah.
That's a sleep in, darling. Hello, little boy. Hello, little girl.
Don't be overexposed, darling.
Hey. Hey. So overall, a really, really good day. Huge, huge steps today, finally.
I'm finding it hard to believe, to be honest. Oh, Ocean's clapping. Good morning, everyone. It is quite early here on Merriweather. It's about 7 o'clock. We've been up since 5:30. The kids didn't want to sleep longer than that. This is pretty much my time. I've just cleaned the kitchen and had a little bit of a sip of coffee. The others are in the stern cabin reading books during the airplane. It's almost time for their second sleep. Yesterday the engine started. That's just wild. The engine started after, 18 months of it being in service and not being in the boat. There are a few things that we need to fix still. I'm gonna leave that to my captain to explain in a proper way. But the fact that it's working is just a huge, huge just weight off our shoulders. It is looking like we can leave shortly.
Grrr. Grrr. Grot.
Hey,
Hey, hey.
what are you guys doing?
We are very well, thank you very much. They've actually been quite good this morning until you arrived. And they got a glimpse of Mummy and they're like, ooh, have a little bit of Mummy, thank you.
Yeah, I can't really show myself in the morning, can I?
You are literally delicious, Isabel.
Hey, Dad.
Ocean.
Ocean.
A fair good morning to you all. Yesterday we managed to start up the engine and I'm really stoked about it. Really, really stoked. Today there are two things from stopping us going for a motor, really. First off is the gear lever. So we have a lever which basically throws our gearbox into forward, then back into neutral, into reverse. So I need to attach that and I need to make up a bracket and then put in the bracket. I've got a few things in mind, but I'm really kind of inventing as I go with that kind of problem. The other problem is the engine doesn't actually start with the key and the button where it should. I have a wiring issue down to the engine and power is not getting from my control panel to my engine. So yes, gear lever and hot wiring, those are the only two things stopping us from going and testing this engine. And I just want to add one more thing. I have been checking this leak on the C drive and so far it's come good again. For the moment, I can't see any problem. Our gear oil levels are not going down in any way, shape or form. So that is a good thing. Alright, so just down here in the engine room, we have a forward, neutral and reverse gear lever, and the gear lever cable which comes down to the gearbox is not attached. The reason for that is I've lost the bracket. There's a bracket that normally holds this cable on to something. This morning I've made up a makeshift bracket and I'm just installing it now. So this bracket is going to sit right there, and this cable, it's going to come through this hose clamp. It's a little bit dodgy, but it's going to work. It's going to attach onto my gearbox arm down here, which will be able to put us in forward and neutral and reverse. Okay, so now this is fully supported by this hose clamp through this bracket. Isabel's about to go forward and neutral and reverse for me so we can test this out.
Alright, I'm here.
She's here!
Hello!
My helper!
Just needed to relocate the kids.
Alright, you get on the forward, neutral, reverse.
Yeah.
When you're ready, babe.
Wait, forward.
Forward.
Yeah.
Okay, come back to neutral. Go forward.
Yeah.
Come back to neutral.
Yeah.
So after testing it out, this is looking really good. I might be fine-tuning this a little bit in the future, but for the moment, this is going to work. Engine room wise, there's not much down here stopping us from leaving 100%. We can pretty much go, which is just fantastic. Like, I can't emphasize how good it is to have this engine in and working, as far as I can tell, 100%. Just quickly, I also managed to hook up the salt water going through the gearbox. I don't know the name of it, to be honest, but there's a box which sits on the gearbox and the seawater runs through this little box, cooling down the gearbox, and then it eventually, after going through the gearbox, it goes to the engine and cools down the engine. If you've watched it this far through the video, guys, please do hit that subscribe button or think about going over to sign up to be a Patreon. We are trying to get a bit more in depth with our patrons, especially as we get out of here and start cruising. We want to make a bit of extra content and really, yeah, get the whole patron thing happening again.